get back to the trading floor where officials of Ayala-owned Cebu Property Ventures just about to ring the opening bell. Cebu Property Ventures Holding Company, Cebu Holdings Inc., led by June Bisnar and Ayala Land President and CEO Bobby D. there, joined by PSE officials led by Jose Pardo, Hansikat, and Vivian Yuchenko. She's not on the picture though, but Cebu Property Ventures is celebrating its 25th listing anniversary. That's why they're there. There you go, the 25th listing anniversary of Cebu Property Ventures. Let's look at the opening numbers from Warren de Guzman at the trading floor. So how's it going so far, Warren?
Hi, Kathy. The open is red. The PSEI is down, but just by 2 points. It's 7232.47. Market red, though, is positive. 36 gainers against 12 losers. And looking at the sub-indexes, they are mixed. Financials and holdings in the red. All shares, the industrials, mining and oil property, and services, they are in the green, but the movements are not very prominent. Looking at the celebrant today, Cebu Property Ventures, it is actually at 5 pesos and 92 centavos, unchanged from the previous close. Now we're still joined by Luis Limlingan, Managing Director at Regina Capital Development, on the line. Luis, so we're seeing some consolidation and again a lot of risk events moving forward. But I want to talk about CPV. You were talking earlier about the headwinds facing the real estate sector, but we've also been talking about how property shares, particularly in the index, have been somewhat expensive. Isn't stocks like CPV a good way to actually invest in the sector when buying in cheap?
Well, if you speak about the property sector as a whole, I think right now everyone is speculating because everyone is making their own assumption as to whether or not the property sector in the Philippines will be, I guess, safe from all the developments that are happening regionally, right? If you go into CPG, I think there's also further speculation because they links that the owners of the company have some strong ties to the current U.S. president. So that is why I think some people are actually trying to trace the company heavily. So they're also, I think this is more event-driven, and again, it's prone to a lot of, speculation on a lot of investors.
Yeah, but also we have to note that a lot of these companies are actually expanding. We do have Mega World competing now with CPV over in Cebu, establishing their own park there. CPV actually announcing 8 billion pesos spending plan for a 2-hectare property within the Cebu IT Park. So people are quite actually bullish, they're saying, with, of course, the introduction of more infrastructure projects, including the Cebu Cordova Bridge, which will be completed within the term of President Duterte. Those aren't enough to make you bullish on property outside Metro Manila?
I think at the whole, the Cebu market, I guess, will add to the top and bottom line of all of the companies. But if you look at the portfolios of all these property companies, the bulk of their, the market really comes still from Metro Manila. The demand is really there. The prices are high, so that's why they can command such a premium, right? And that's why these same companies like whether it's an Ayala company, SMR, RLC, if they have a prime location in Metro Manila, that's why their PE are very high because again, the valuation based on their net asset value is really calculated based on the capital value of the price. It's really mainly based on Metro Manila. So even if they are bullish on Cebu right now, based on what we're seeing, probably it's still not yet enough. And I think really they want, I think, as the sector as a whole to be, I think, to be, I guess, on a smooth track at least for this year, just to make sure that it's still good to buy into these companies.
All right, thanks for that, Luis Limlingan, Managing Director at Regina Capital Development. And again, Kathy, looking at the market, the PSEI down, but just slightly down by about 3 points. Meanwhile, the foreign exchange market, the peso opened weaker, 50.34. It's averaging 50.336 against the U.S. dollar from the previous close of 50.31. Kathy?
And that's all ahead of Fed Chief Janet Yellen's speech in Chicago in a few hours from now. Thanks for that, Warren. That Cebu Property Ventures and Development believes the perceived headwinds of the real estate sector, which include protectionist labor policies in the U.S., are not slowing down business in Cebu. Aniceto June Bisnar, the president of the company, says they are spending 8 billion pesos on a new project within its Cebu IT park, which is already home to 48,000 workers, 70% of the business process outsourcing industry in Cebu.
Cebu is like the Metro Manila of Visayas and Mindanao. And because of this migration and population growth, and a lot of students who are also studying in the many universities in Cebu, there's really a need to really improve on the infrastructure in Cebu and the Cebu province.
Bisnar adds he doesn't see any threat from rising interest rates either, as current rates are still much lower compared to the Asian financial crisis in 1997.
Well, as in the past, the interest rates have been quite reasonable. No? The mortgage rates have been hovering about 6.2%. So we think that the interest rates now, as compared to many years ago, are still quite cheap, no, compared to the previous years when we had the crisis in the Philippine economy. So from the point of view of most Filipinos, I think borrowing money at around 6%, 7% to 8% is still reasonable.
We're taking a quick break.
Cebu Property Ventures and Development believes perceived headwinds of the real estate sector, which include protectionist labor policies in the United States, are not slowing down business in Cebu. Aniceto June Bisnar, the president of the company, says they are spending 8 billion pesos on a new project within its Cebu IT park, which is already home to 48,000 workers, 70% of the business process outsourcing industry in Cebu.
Cebu is like the Metro Manila of Visayas and Mindanao. And because of this migration and population growth, and a lot of students who are also studying in the many universities in Cebu, there's really a need to really improve on the infrastructure in Cebu and the Cebu province.
Bisnar adds he doesn't see any threat from rising interest rates either, as current rates are still much lower compared to the Asian financial crisis in 1997.
Well, as in the past, the interest rates have been quite reasonable. No? The mortgage rates have been hovering about 6.2%. So we think that the interest rates now, as compared to many years ago, are still quite cheap, no, compared to the previous years when we had the crisis in the Philippine economy. So from the point of view of most Filipinos, I think borrowing money at around 6%, 7% to 8% is still reasonable.
The Federal Reserve is expected to send ripples through the real estate sector, which relies on